Welcome to the Learning Lab. My name is Roman Garcia. The subject matter that we're going to be talking about today is a concept. It's a protocol that I myself has established or created over years of examining knee joints. Now, before we start on the subject matter, I just want to emphasize to the viewer the reason why we do these videos. We've been doing these videos now for about approximately a little over a year. And the only reason we're doing these videos is to educate the viewer on issues that may have some relevance to themselves or to family members. The whole idea is just to educate the viewers so you can better understand what's going on inside your body. Now, what I would be talking about today is an idea that I have created and I have structured, which I'm going to show you in a little bit, that is fairly easy to understand, but is very important to understand. And this has to do with knee issues. Now, knee pains are prolific in our society. It's probably the #1 reason why an individual goes to their doctor, aside from low back, is pain in the knees. The knees are extremely susceptible to degenerative conditions. So I want to show you a paradigm, a concept that I think will better help you understand if you yourself one day experience pains, why you're experiencing pains, and give you a better understanding of your situation. Now, this concept, this idea, this paradigm that I created, I gave it a name, and the name that I label it as, or what I call it, is symmetry breaking. Now, before I go into the specific of symmetry breaking, I want to just give you a little bit of a fundamental anatomical lecture that you need to understand in order to understand what symmetry breaking is. Now, people usually have certain knee alignment conditions. They come in 4 different variations. Now, you can have individuals, if you come over here, Carlos, so the folks can see. This is one alignment issue that some folks have. Now, what these lines represent are the bones of the lower leg. This is the upper bone, and this is the lower bone. And then this right here, this space right here, this is the knee joint. Now, this diagram right here represents an individual that's in a knock-knee position, or valgus. That's the medical term. So, valgus is when the knees are in a knock-knee position. So, you got some folks that have this type of pattern. They're knock-knee on both sides. You have other folks that are bow-legged or invarus, and they are invarus on both sides. Their knees will bow on both sides. Again, this space right here, this represents the knee, and they'll bow on both sides. Now, you got a third type of individual that would be in neutral, where they will not have any knock-knee or any bowing. Their bones will be aligned perfectly, one on top of the other. Again, this is the knee joint. So this is the third version. Now, the worst version of all of these is the one that I call symmetry breaking. And the reason I call it symmetry breaking is because one knee will be in a knock-knee pattern. Again, this is the knee space joint right here. This is the knee joint right here. And then the other knee will be in a bow-legged. So again, this individual is not symmetrical. The right side and the left knee, one's going in one alignment direction and the other one's going in the other alignment direction. This is the worst alignment condition to have. And when an individual presents themselves to my clinic and I examine them and they are asymmetrical, I call these individuals of demonstrating, showing symmetry breaking. Now, in a little while, I'm going to show you, Carlos, you can come back to me. In a little while, I'm going to show you what that symmetry breaking looks like on an X-ray. And with the help of my model, Anna, I'm going to show you an alignment condition that is not in a symmetry breaking state. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to show you what a knock-knee posture will look like on a real life individual with the help of my assistant, Anna. So what Anna's going to do first, she's going to stand up. Alrighty? Now, do this, Anna. Just stand. Da un paso para atrás. Now, párate normal. She's standing normal. Now, can you see this? Good? She's standing normal. Now, it's very hard, it's extremely hard, just by looking at an individual to know whether they are in bow-legged, not kneel, or in neutral. Some people, you can do it, but seeing is deceiving if you're trying to diagnose primarily by visual. It's very hard. You really have to go through a protocol, an examination protocol, to be 100% sure. Just by seeing an individual, you can only be 90% sure. So I want to make that very clear. But with Anna, since I've examined her knees before and we've got x-rays of her knee, Anna is in a valgus. She's in a knock-knee posture. Now, as you can see it, when you look at her, this knee looks pretty straight, and then this knee looks as if it's in a knock-knee posture. Now, the truth is that she's knock-kneed on both. And to the same extent, like I said, seeing is deceiving if you're trying to diagnose an individual just on a visual representation. But Anna she is not symmetry breaking because she's knock-knee on both. She's knock-knee on both. So she doesn't have a symmetry breaking state. She's not in a symmetry breaking state. So she does not have the worst alignment condition. Now, she's going to lay down now. Now, I've examined Anna before. And we've established that she's definitely in a knock-knee posture on both. And like I said before in other videos, the easiest way to determine if an individual is in a knock-knee posture or not is just see if she has hyperextension. You can see, again, I'm just repeating what I've done in other videos. Anna has hyperextending knees. On a woman with hyperextending knees, you got a high probability that she's in a knock-knee posture. Now, just by seeing her and observing her, you cannot determine whether she's symmetry breaking. You can only do that if you get an x-ray and you measure the knee on an x-ray in a specific way. And I'll show you how it's done. And I'm going to demonstrate to you. You'll be able to see an example of a knee that's in symmetry breaking, which is the worst condition that you can have, and one that is not. Okay, so here we got Ana. Te puedes sentar. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you first a x-ray of Anna's knee. We've done both knees, we've done it separate, but I'm just going to show you one. This is her left knee. Now, the way that you determine whether an individual is in valgus or varus is very simple. You just draw a line from the mid-knee space and you draw it straight down. If this line, and I think we reviewed this before, if this line crosses the inside part of the knee, of the lower leg bone, which is called the tibia, if it crosses this line, if it crosses the outer dimensions of the lower leg bone, that person would be in a knock-knee state. Now, clinically, when I examined Anna, and before the x-rays, I had a high suspicion that Anna was in a valgus pattern. Now, I can only be 90% sure. The only way I can be 100% sure is if I take an x-ray. And the x-ray did show that my belief based on clinical examination was correct. Anna is definitely in a valgus or in a knock-knee state, but she's knock-knee on both knees. So she doesn't demonstrate symmetry breaking. Now, I'm going to show you a case, an x-ray, where there exists symmetry breaking. This is an individual who demonstrates symmetry breaking. This is the left knee. This is the right knee. Again, you see the line. You see this line drawn from the mid portion of the knee. There's a bony landmark right here that I always use, and you draw it straight down. You can see on this left knee that this line crosses the inner border of the knee. This is the cortex, the outer dimensions of the lower leg bone. you can see this line, how it gets close to this line. This knee is in a valgus or in a knock-knee alignment. Now, if you observe the right, again, this is the inner, such as this, and then this is the outer. The outer leg the bone dimensions, the outer perimeter. Look at the line. You see how it crosses the outside? That means that the right leg is in a bow-legged position or alignment. The right leg is bow-legged, is bowing. The left leg is knocking. This individual has broken symmetry. He's not symmetrical. One leg is in a knock-knee state, the other one's in a bow-legged state. Now, I'm going to show you another example. And what's interesting is that with these cases where they have broken symmetry is normally where you will see the worst structural damage on X-ray. And I don't think that's coincidental. Nature abhors asymmetry. With your legs, symmetry is the key. Now, and this is the left, this is the right. Again, this is a lot clearer X-ray. Look at the line right here, drawn right through the middle. You see how it gets really close to the inside part of the lower leg bone. You can see the lower leg bone right here. This is the right. This is the outside part. You can see that this line gets close to the outer bone. This leg is in knock-knee. This leg is bow-legged. And just as a side, this knee right here had ACL replacement. But this example right here is of an individual who's demonstrating symmetry breaking. So to rehabilitate this individual is a lot harder than somebody who hasn't broken symmetry. So when you go to medical individuals who are doing the examinations to determine whether your knees have broken symmetry or not is very important, because it makes all the difference in the world when it comes to how you try to reconstitute the tissues. It makes a difference. You have to know whether the individual has broken symmetry or not, because the rehab is completely different from one who hasn't. And now this is an example where the individual has not broken symmetry. Again, you see the line right over here from the mid portion of the lower leg bone going straight down. Again, this is the outer portion of the leg right here. This individual has a varus propensity, but they're not bow-legging. I would call this a neutral alignment. He's neutral on both. This individual has not broken symmetry. If this individual were to come to me, I would be a lot more confident that I will be able to help this individual sooner than later. And I wouldn't have to use much rehab resources to rehabilitate this individual. Okay? Carlos, you can come over here. So now, the reason that I bring up this idea is that it's very important. If you have knee pains and you go to your healthcare professional and they're doing an examination or doing x-rays and they don't establish whether you are asymmetrical in your knees, and you're not getting a proper examination. And it's very important that when you go to your healthcare professional, that not only the practitioner is very well versed in these concepts, but also yourself, because you need to work with your practitioner to try to get as much information about your condition as possible so you can be sure that you are getting the right intervention. And this asymmetry is a very important fundamental condition that needs to be identified in your situation. So, but this is basically something that I've developed over years of just making observation and basically just measuring and using different types of geometric measuring of the knee. It's not very common to be able to find other medical centers that use this type of biometric testing. But again, anybody who watches this video, if you have any comment, if you have any suggestions, if you disagree with what I'm saying, please make your mind felt on the video. There's always a phone number that accompanies this video if you want to make contact with me. I'll share all the information I have with you. But the most important thing that we get out of doing these videos is that the viewer gets educated. So you yourself can better understand your situation and your condition. For anybody that watches this video, I want to thank you. Until next time, have a great day. Thank you.